Hello, and welcome to the CUP Ringside, part of the CUP Network, where we put the real into using reality. We always have to listen to people first. And here at the CUP Ringside, we always give you the best seat in the house when it comes to almost everything wrestling. We throw some other stuff in, but we mostly WWE here because that's what we do. I am your girl, Lana, your resident diva, and I'm here to give you sympathy and because you know I love me some tea. Her. I'm not drinking anything because I didn't grab anything it's close to dinner, so I'll grab it when I do. And when I watch the debate, which is happening today, so we go get through with this recording, so we can go be good American citizens and watch the debate. But what I do have close by and always is my cup mug. You can hand it with me, period. And you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. Get your cup merch, period.
And I am Gunther's at least third favorite wrestler behind Bill Goldberg and Bret the Hitman Hart.
Troll. What a troll.
The one and only Topher. And I'm not even a wrestler these days. Maybe soon, maybe later. In the past, former professional wrestler. I did have, one swift appearance when I trained with the Dudley Boys back in the day. So I do have personal experience with these things, but I can't hold a candle to Bill Goldberg.
Well, I mean, who can hold a candle to Bill Goldberg? I mean,
You
a
know,
lot of
they,
people.
Bret Hart had to be hot about
He
that.
was hot. He was mad.
He's gonna be shoot interviewing on this for weeks, and then that Triple H brought me to Raw just so that way they could rub Bill Goldberg in my face. But, I'd still be wrestling today if it wasn't for Bill Goldberg.
Oh Lord, I can't. I cannot. I can.
Oh.
But welcome to, like I said, we are here giving you all things. This is our weekly wrestling wrap up where we talk about all things that happened on SmackDown, Raw, and everything in between, contract signings, all kind of stuff. And I think that's what I want to start off with because we do have some. Oh, before I do that, I'm jumping the gun. Subscribe to this channel. Y'all know what to do. Y'all see it. Hit the subscribe button down below. Subscribe to this channel. Um, Follow, do all the things. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video that we drop. Also, go subscribe to all of our other channels. We have 4 channels on in the Cup Network, and you can go subscribe to all of them. All of those links will be in the description below. Just click the link tree. All those links are down there, as well as our audio podcast links, so you can follow them. If you need to follow us on the go, check that out where all your podcast listening is available. We are there, and you can join our Patreon where you can get some exclusive content across all 4 channels and early access across all 4 channels. And yeah, do all those things. We appreciate you. Now, this week in wrestling, we have some new contracts that happen, some updates, and some people signed some things, some people uh re-signed some things. So let's start with the re-signing of Cedric Alexander and Shayna Baszler. They both re-signed to the WWE. Good on them.
Well, maybe they'll actually get. Well, Shayna Baszler,
They've
she's
been
got,
working.
yes. They have their. I don't even know what they call their faction.
Pure Fusion Collection. Collective.
Pure Fusion Collective.
Collective. It's way too long. They should just be Pure Fusion if we want to be honest. But
PFC.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, but they are. Listen, they are a collective.
Yes, they are.
And then I don't even know, what is Cedric Alexander doing these days. When's the last? Lana? What's your favorite Cedric Alexander match?
My favorite Cedric Alexander match would be when he was with um um the hurt business.
Yes,
And
he was in the
yeah,
Hurt Business.
he was in the hurt business. So him and Sheldon Benjamin had a match against a couple of other dudes, and it was a good match. So that would be my favorite Cedric Alexander match.
Was he a 205 Live guy? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was a 205 Live guy, and I did like Cedric Alexander in 205 Live. I was,
Okay.
I mean,
And then
205 Live purely because I live in the area code 205. So we were like, oh, we got a show named after our area code. Woo. And he had to do with us, but it's okay.
and then Zia Lee,
Xia Li, yeah.
yes, has now been signed to TNA. So maybe she will get a main roster match in WWE for once.
Maybe. She had a package air, so she'll probably switch back and forth and do a couple of, maybe we'll see at the Rumble.
Maybe, like, it's been working for Joe Hendry. So
Yeah, it
this
hasn't.
the NXT roster is so deep that you have two. What was the last PLE was main evented by two NXT stars.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
TNA will get you on the card.
TNA will get you there. I mean, the NXT crowd, they believe.
They do.
They believe in Joe Hendry. So work. And then we have another legend who signed a Legends contract, which made me happy and made me smile because I'm like, it's about time, period. Jacqueline has signed a Legends contract. And I was like, yes, because yes, she is all that. She is the legend and deserve to be to get paid to be for her likeness. And I'm very happy that she is now signed as a legend, and maybe we'll see her on TV a little bit. Heading in the Legends Lounge. I'd like to see her around.
I would. I think she would be great. I think that I think that she could be somebody that may be useful as potentially like a manager for a younger talent, or to be involved in a feud to help get somebody over. She probably still has it. I think she made a Royal Rumble appearance recently.
Yeah, she did back. Yeah, she did a couple years ago.
Okay, I would put $100 on her making a Royal Rumble appearance this year.
I would love it. I would love it. Her and Victoria. Let's make it happen.
Because Victoria also signed a
She
Legends
did
program.
last week. She did.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I think
Bring
we
them
can
all
make
back.
it. Bring them all.
And you know what? These women from the Attitude Era really deserve a second shot. Like, I think Trish Stratus proved. I think Lita has proved that they didn't get their just desserts because they were more in
eye candy mode instead of actually superstar mode.
They were in eye candy mode, and I think that these women have a lot to prove. So I would love to see, Jacqueline get into a feud with maybe somebody like Bailey. And I think there's money there.
I would love to see Jacqueline in, like, not that either of these ladies need it, but like as a manager or mentor, like for Bianca and Jade.
Yes.
And have them have her like show them, how to elevate them, let them, not that they need it, because I think Bianca does a really great job, but still, who wouldn't want to be under the tutelage of Jacqueline?
I think that it will give Jacqueline the babyface pop, right? But I think also then you can have Jacqueline. Jacqueline is a great heel.
She's a great heel.
And I think that Jacqueline teaming with whoever, like whether it's Jade or Bianca, that's going to make the heel turn. Personally, I think it should be Bianca. I think that she would do great in that regard, because I do think that sometimes, like having a manager like speak for you and to like take the heat for you and to like, I just think it levels you up, right?
Absolutely.
So I do think that even though Bianca is fine on the microphone and doesn't need a manager, I think having Miss Jackie there would be really good for her.
And it'll make the transition when she does just end up going back to being a babyface easier, because she wasn't the one saying the rude and nasty things that Jacqueline can be allowed to say.
Correct. So I do think that's a lot of fun. That has a lot of makings of being a good
I think she would be good, like with Naomi, if Naomi ever decided to go heel again, to be that.
Yes, Naomi needs to join the bloodline. She is in the bloodline. She married into it. I think she would do great.
I think
You
so.
know, and you know what? Because that's the glow has gotten stale. It doesn't have the same allure that it used to. And Naomi is an incredible talent, and it shouldn't be wasted on her just being a mm,
Card person that
yeah,
doesn't
just like a
hardly ever get.
smiley, yeah, smiley dancy, baby
Mm-hmm.
face.
I agree. I
You
agree.
get lost into obscurity. You don't have character development.
Absolutely. And speaking of developments, we did get one news development last night during Raw, and that was that Raw is now going to go to be 2 hours now again, starting in October until December when they move to Netflix. So they're going to be 2 hours. And, I think they're just preparing the WWE Universe for when they do move to Netflix to announce that Raw is going to stay 2 hours. I don't think they want to do 3 hours anymore, and which is fine because I feel like 3 hours, it was it was long. It was long. 2 hours is perfectly good wrestling. Yeah, you'll cut some things out, but I feel like you'll get rid of some of the fluff because now you have to focus on just getting stuff done that makes sense for the stories.
And I think that with 2 hours, the brand extension means more because now you have a reason. When they had to fill 3 hours of Raw, it really felt like SmackDown had its roster and then Raw had everybody.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so it's like, no, you get your 2 hours of TV time. That's all you need. Like anything
Mhm.
longer than a 2 hour Raw is again too much. It's too much filler. you
Mhm.
know so I do think that that's going to help with especially because now we've got uh you have shorter PLEs, where
Yes.
you don't have major pay-per-views every month. I think it's going to be good. It'll help diversify. So,
Yeah.
and
I
when it
agree.
comes to Netflix, that 2 hours commercial free is going to be an extended Raw anyway, because 2 hours
Mhm.
of actual TV time is really just, an hour and 20 minutes, an hour
Yeah.
and 40 minutes. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm okay with that. But I didn't mind it. I don't mind 2 hours of Raw. Like you said, it makes the brand extension feel like everybody's on equal playing field. It's like you got your roster, and we can't have an overexpanded roster because we have more time to fill. It's just like you got the same 2 hours we got, so we can
Right.
mix and match. And I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited to see how it works. And then when the shift happens, right now everything is on USA Network, SmackDown, Raw, and NXT is all gonna be on USA for the next 3 weeks, and then NXT is going to move to the CW. Raw is going to move to Netflix in the in at the beginning of the year, and SmackDown will be the lone residence on USA. So that's kind of interesting. We've been doing a lot of shifting and shaping up in WWE, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the shift. I'm gonna watch it regardless, wherever they are on my TV. I'm going to find a way to watch it anyway because that's
Which
who I am.
is going to be interesting, especially with the announcement and the trailer of the Vince McMahon documentary coming out. Of like, we're
Hmm.
going to do a burial piece on Vince McMahon, which don't get me wrong, I think the story needs to be told.
It
And I
does.
do think it is a fascinating story. And I'm not, I am not averse to the truth, but
Right.
it just feels like an interesting choice to do almost what may end up being a hit piece on the company that you just spent $6 billion to bring to Monday Night Raw. You know,
Yeah. I kind of think they wanted that. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like they wanted to have that piece to actually show that Vince McMahon did some terrible things and now he's done. He's not a part of this company anymore. It's over for him. He's done so. Now let's bring in this new version of WWE run by us and doing this. And I feel like they wanted to show that, yes, he is. We
that's a
don't even.
really, really good take, because they spent a lot of effort, like WrestleMania weekend, talking
Hmm.
about how this is Triple
This is
H's
Triple H's
WrestleMania.
era.
This is
Yep.
Triple H's Hall of Fame. This is Triple H's company. And I do think that a lot of this Vince McMahon documentary is going to be a love letter to the past
Yep.
acknowledging him having to step down and the things that he did, and then moving into now we're in the future, which
Yep.
is Triple
Triple
H
H's
and The
era.
Rock.
Yep. This is their era. This is what they're going to do. And what I love, and even though I appreciate and would love to see Stephanie come back into the fold a little bit more, I love the fact that she's like, I'm gonna let Triple H handle it. I'm gonna let Paul do it. I'm gonna let him run it. What I'm going to do is be more behind the scenes because she is. They still say she's over like the women division.
Right.
She's control of so I'm like, she's like, I'm gonna let him be the face. I'm gonna run my stuff back here, and keep the McMahon name out of it, and just let it be the Triple H era.
Great.
Because even if she is in the fourth, even if she came out and was like, I'm Stephanie Levesque, which she is, it's still gonna be Stephanie McMahon.
Right.
So I love that she's kind of like, I'm gonna let Paul handle it, and he go run it. He go be the face, and we go move into this new era, McMahon free. So I'm all right
Mhm.
with it.
Um, let's see what else is on our list. Oh,
Let's go into no. We're gonna go into SmackDown right now. Let's go into
oh yes,
SmackDown. We'll
SmackDown.
come back. We'll come back to the other news stories in a little bit. Let's go into SmackDown because I feel like this ain't gonna take long. This ain't gonna take long. I mean, I enjoyed SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and be like I hated it, but it was I. We start off SmackDown with the reviewing of Bash in Berlin because it was this is off the heels of Bash in Berlin, and they talk about that, and then Cody comes out with to put over Kevin Owens for the tough match he had at the PLE, and then they welcome Michael Cole back to SmackDown. Great. Uh, the Bloodline comes out, but Solo so everybody waited ringside so he can talk to Cody one on one. He want to talk to nobody else, just him. And Cody says it was actually Jacob Fatu who deserved to have a title shot, not Solo. And Solo was like, hmm, okay. But and so when he said Jacob, Jacob stepped up for a minute. He stepped up, got on the ring, got on the ring post, and was like, and Solo looked at him and stared him down and was like, "I know you're not gonna try to step in front of me. I'm the tribal chief." Mm. And so Jacob was like, "I love you, and I acknowledge you as my tribal chief." Now we've heard this whole "I love you" before.
Mhm.
We've heard it from Solo. I love you, brother. You are my brother. I love you. And then he turn around and side cocked him. So I'm like, the parallels here. I feel like
And they said they like Paul Heyman said you cannot trust these men. These are not normal men. You know they are
mm,
not the bloodline that you're expected. And let me tell you,
mm,
the werewolf.
mm,
He is he's the best right now. The best in the
he
ring. The best, you know, he's the best character they've got, and I cannot wait till he turns and is like, I kind of, I kind of would rather see Cody Rhodes versus the Werewolf than
I
Cody
would
Rhodes
too.
versus Solo.
I would too. And that's the thing. Everybody would love to see Jacob Fatu fight Cody Rhodes over Solo.
Right.
Solo, you had your chance. It is what it is. You lost. I feel like everybody wants to see Jacob, and that is where the problem lies because even when Roman was tribal chief and it was Roman fighting Cody all those times, nobody was like, I'd rather see
I'd
Jay
rather
fight
see,
Cody. Or
rather
I'd
see
rather see
Solo.
Solo fight Cody.
Right. No.
Nobody said that. It was always, okay, Roman, let's go fight Cody. It is what it is. Let's see the match. So I think in lies the problem with Solo and his new bloodline. He is not respected.
And you know, but here's the thing. So this concluded with them making the match for next week.
Yeah.
I think that Cody might actually lose.
Oh,
It's the first SmackDown back on USA Network, right? Like, so it's a big deal. They're in a solid steel cage, so there's no like you're booked into a corner, right? Like Cody has to lose this because if Cody beats Solo in a solid steel cage match in the rematch, that's it. What else, like what is Solo's credibility? What can Solo accomplish after that?
right. It it's not in Montreal, is it? Isn't SmackDown in Montreal next week? No,
I don't know where
I don't
SmackDown
think so. I don't know. I can't remember. But because Roman put out a thing, but I don't know if it was a new thing or if it was an old thing. I don't know.
is.
But anyway, so yeah, the match is made, and I agree with you. I think Cody has to lose, but are they really gonna make? I don't. There's no disqualifications in the steel cage match. Like,
Right.
so if Cody loses his belt next week to Solo in a steel cage match? What?
Yeah, but Cody can have the odds stacked against him. Cody can lose and still look good
Yeah,
because then it
but
gives
then,
Cody the chase. Cody's now chasing going into Mania.
but I don't know if they gonna let Solo have that belt that long. I don't. I don't.
Truly not.
Me, I don't know if they go even take the belt off Cody for some odd reason. I don't know if they go even take it off him, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But we do. Like I said, that was the match. We had the Profits and DIY show up to give Rose some assistance against the Bloodline. So I'm like, okay, great, sure, whatever.
Just get him on the card, cannon fodder.
Right. It's like, okay. Sure. We move. We have Bailey versus Tiffany Stratton. Bailey's back. We see her. Yay, great. Pretty Deadly were backstage with Nia Jax, and when Tiffy came out before her match with Bailey, um, it was a good match. It was a good match because Tiffy is always going to be good. Bailey's going to be good. We know they're going to have good stuff happening. Um, we did see a uh we did see the Bailey hit Nia Jax with a suicide dive when she showed up at ringside, but then Bailey hit the rose the rose plant. That's what they call it. For the win. Um, it was a good match. We did see a little bit of what we people are presuming as a little bit of a fracture between Tiffany and Nia because Tiffany was getting beat up and Nia wasn't doing nothing. She ain't
I don't
jumped to
know.
her defense.
It's too soon to break them up.
Yeah.
Give this story time to breathe. I like the Tiffany and Nia combination. I don't know. I don't like Bailey being involved in this.
I don't. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know who they're trying to turn into the baby face. Do they want Tiffany to be the baby face, or do they want Nia to be the baby face? I
I
don't.
think a lot of people love Tiffy time.
They do love Tiffy time. I'm not a fan of Tiffy time, but okay, sure. Um, but Bailey ended up winning. Sure, good match. We saw the return of Giovanni Vinci. He's coming back.
Yeah.
Good to good to see him back facing the facing Apollo Crews. He didn't change his whole style. He's no longer with the Imperium, so he's just like now I'm just gonna be Giovanni, and he getting kisses on the ring. Like, come here, girl, kiss my cheek. He's Giovanni, and I'm like, oh, who are you? Like, where did all this come from? He like Playboy. He like yes. I don't know. It's interesting. He we'll see what happens. It's apparently he's going closer to what his NXT character was before he joined the Imperium. So
Which
okay.
I'm not that familiar with.
Me
So
either. I did not. I was not familiar with Giovanni's NXT character, so it took me by surprise. But I'm sure all the people who watch him in NXT are like, "Oh, we know who that is." But it took me by surprise. Not gonna lie, I was not expecting that. But he did all right. But then he lost. um, to Apollo Crews, and it was a quick match. It was very much of a smash, and he Apollo rolled him up, and that was it. So I was like,
Good for
boo.
Apollo getting wins on
Get a
SmackDown.
win, sure, Apollo, but boo. Like we want to see a match.
Right. Well, you know what? It's SmackDown. They get him on the card. You know, they're there for 5 minutes. We got to move on.
Right.
Trying to get off of Fox as a whole.
Because this was the last episode on Fox, so sure. Then we see Kevin Owens, and he had a match with versus Grayson Waller versus Austin Theory, like a 3-man match. I don't know why, but sure, because of course, Austin and Grayson wouldn't team up to beat up Kevin Owens. Like,
Right.
who would think that? Why would
Well, isn't there some tension there between Grayson Waller and Austin
it
Theory?
is? It
You know,
is. It
who's the
is.
face in that? Who's the face in that situation?
Who knows? I have no idea. But um Owens tossed him out the ring, and it sounds it is pretty physical. It was, you know what, good match. Three good talented people who know what they're doing in the ring. Kevin Owens beats him, sure, because he has to show that he
Right.
doesn't always lose to Cody Rhodes, and things like that. He can win matches, and he won in this triple threat match. Mm, eh,
Eh, eh.
eh, it was alright. Uh it was alright, but I do think Grayson Waller showing himself a little bit more to be a really good solo star. He just needs to get away from Austin Theory, focus on himself. He has the potential, I believe, me personally.
I
But
agree.
we'll see.
Um,
We'll who knows? We'll see how that goes. We didn't have a quick match with Chelsea Green and Meechin. Um, we had a little LA Knight come out first before that to talk about his win in Berlin. He's interrupted by Carmelo Hayes to state claim at his title shot. But then Andrade comes out. It's like, you can't beat me. So, of course, blah, blah, blah. And LA Knight took both of them out. And she said he's still running the show. Then we see Mia Yim, Meechin versus Chelsea Green. Meechin has had an injury she received from her ribs from Naya. And so Chelsea was focusing all of her attacks on her ribs. And but she was unable she was able to hit the unprettier for the win. So we got a Chelsea Green win. Which, you know, I'm happy about that.
I'm a Chelsea Green fan, and I feel like any more time that we get Chelsea Green on our screen is an all right time with me.
I agree. I think she deserves more and more time. Like, she should win more. Like, she's a great star. Like I said, when I watched her at NXT that one time and saw some skills that we have never seen on the main roster, and saw how actually good she is in the ring, I was like, why are we not seeing this on the main roster?
But and then in the Money in the Bank ladder match,
Yes.
I just feel this is the commentary about the women's division. Hey, this is we're going to an old canned routine, and we need to build story. We need to build, like, there's so much care and effort put into this entire story. Every story can be like that. Every story can be personal. Why were Chelsea Green and Meechin wrestling? You know what I mean? It's like you have to have a reason.
It should be. It should be a reason.
Just give them a reason. Let them bump into each other in the back.
Right.
Like, oh, they're just Chelsea Green parked in Meechin's spot.
Something.
Or vice versa. Just something. Just anything.
She put her bags in Meechin's cubicle in the locker room. Like, something.
Right.
Like,
give us something. Give us a little bit of depth. Create a reason for the match. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It can be silly. It can be stupid. It could, it'll make sense.
Right.
So.
But the main event, we'll move real quick, is the Bloodline versus DIY and the Street Profits. because they came out to help Cody, and so of course we have to have a match. And
Are the Street Profits good now? I thought they were bad.
no, they're still good because the audience did not take to them being bad.
That's
The
fair.
audience did not buy it. Nobody, and they tried to push the Street Profits in that direction. I think when Bobby Lashley was there, they tried to push them in that direction of being a heel, and the audience just loved the Street Profits, and so it was like, nah,
You
we
know,
don't.
they want to get the Street Profits over. You know what they need to do? They need to have D'Angelo Hawkins turn on
Yep,
uh,
yep, on Montez.
Montez. Thank you. Oh my God, his
Yep.
name was escaped like Montavious.
Not
No,
Montavious.
Montavious Porter. Tell Montavious. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, no, they need, yeah, because I think that will, or you can have Bianca and her husband both turn heel.
yeah, I kind of think Montez would be a better heel than
Yeah, he would.
Dawkins.
He's got
Uh,
he's got like
he
the
got the charisma, he got the
yep,
swagger, he got
and
the
he's
attitude.
small, so him
Hmm.
cheating to win makes sense, and he can
Yep,
bust out big moves. Like, come
yep.
on,
I think
break
him
them
being a
up.
heel. I
Unfortunately, that will be the end of Dawkins' career. But you can't. You listen. You can't hold yourself back. Somebody's got to be the Marty Jannetty.
True. Facts, actual factual. Somebody has to be, but yeah, I think him turning heel will be great for Montez. He'll just be such a good heel. I want to see it. I but we see the bloodline, they're fighting with these all talented people in the ring, but in the end it was the bloodline who won when Solo pinned Ford with the Samoan spike. And sure, we had some good moments in the match because, of course, DIY. We got Tony Gargano and uh, Champa. They're going to be good. They're going to give you some great quality wrestling. Then the Street Profits are going to give you some great quality wrestling. Then you got the Bloodline with Jacob Fowler-Shu, who, like we just said it earlier, is probably one of the best doing it right now. So it's kind of going to be some amazing wrestling, and they did. It was a good match overall, but we knew the Bloodline was going to win. Overall, I thought SmackDown was okay. It was a good match. It's been better these past few weeks than it was like a month ago. So I'm very happy that um, we had a good run with them in this match. It was fine. Good show overall. Fine. It was fine. But speaking of all right, speaking of, well, I don't want to say all right, but I want to talk about somebody being just stupid. Because let's go to our favorite segment that me and Brooke came up with last week. Is Val Venus being stupid on Twitter?
Oh my God.
This 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 man has been on a roll for the last few weeks on Twitter, just saying stupid, dumb stuff. So me and Brooke came up with this with our favorite segment of Val Venus being stupid on Twitter. And this week he puts out fact: a former IC title holder, Sami Zayn, blocked a former two-time IC title holder, Val Venus, proving he has zero respect for the title of Workhorses, the IC title. Oh, because he's challenging his communist position. Oh, all because he's challenging his communist positions hurt his communist feelings.
So, first off, I can't think of anybody less relevant than Val Venus in general. A old stalwart from the Attitude Era.
He wasn't even good then. He wasn't even that great then.
Right, right. So, also, Val Venus as a two-time Intercontinental Championship during the era of ups and downs and flips and flops, like the title flopping hands every like 2 weeks, has no respect for the four-time Intercontinental Champion that is Sami Zayn, who did bring respect to the championship.
Speak
So
on it.
Huh?
Speak on it.
Right.
Speak on it.
And then also, you can't just say fact and then spit an opinion. Unless the fact is that Sami Zayn blocked him, which,
Fact.
okay, you can block somebody. That doesn't mean you don't have respect for the history. You know what I mean? I can respect what Val Venus did in the ring without respecting Val Venus.
Period.
You know?
Like,
I mean, listen. What's
it's,
the best Val Venus match ever?
uh,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Bad.
know.
He's a good wrestler. He's a great wrestler. Just bad gimmick. You
Bad.
know?
Yeah, you're a
He did
porn
have that
star.
one
The
cage
gimmick.
match with Rikishi that one time where Rikishi jumped off the cage.
Sure. I I can't with this man. I can't with this man. He just gets on Twitter and spouts some crazy things and like you say facts like it's actual factuals. No, sir, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
And whatever. It's we
Okay, Chief Morley.
right. We will go. What happened on Raw? Let's go to Raw because Raw actually was pretty good this week. We had some moments.
Yeah. Let's see. So you had the match. You had the build. You had the. I don't know if I'm going in chronological order because I didn't watch it.
Oh, I watched it.
Oh, go for it. Take us away.
I mean, it was. Here's the thing. Everybody, they started off the show with talking about bad blood coming because, like, literally, the first thing we want to talk about was how bad blood is happening and how it's coming together. Da da da. We had our first match announced right off the bat, which was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley at
Which
Bad
should be
Blood.
at Hell in a Cell.
It should be, but it's not because we saved that for other people.
I mean, it may still be. We don't know that it won't be.
Well, that's true. They didn't say it's not. They just didn't say it is.
Right.
We like I said, we started off with that. Hold on. I lost my notes. Give me a second. But we did talk about that's the first thing that they talked about was how Bad Blood is coming together with that match. Um, what happened first? We because was that first? I'm trying to think if that came out first. I don't remember what came out first. Uh, I lost my notes. That's why I'm stalling because I'm.
We had the Wyatt Six versus
that was the match,
and it was that got 5 stars.
That was the match that started the day that I was like, okay. But yeah, that was the match, and it was a good match. I will say, I will give them the credit because at first I was like, "Is this why we started off with this match?" But it made sense. It was fine. Um,
I mean, they said it was really good. Like it was like literally like a 5-star match.
No, it really was a good match. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it because like the American Made came out and they were like doing their thing. They're in Calgary, of course, and so American Made came out with their flag. So of course the audience hates that, and they come out and they're posing doing their thing. Then the Wyatt music comes on. They come out and they do they stands where they go to the chair. Nikki sits, Uncle Howdy sits, and then the other three they take off the mask and they doing their thing, and so then they walk. The three walks to the ring, and Ivy Nile, she kind of like they standing on the outside the ring, and so she jumps in the ring and she steps up like, "What y'all three dudes go do to me? Like I'm here." And before she could do anything really, Nikki just flies into the ring and just like takes her out so fast. It was like didn't even see her coming, didn't see her get up, nothing. She just flew in that ring. It was so fast, and so they got kicked off the match, and it was a really good match. Like we had tables, we had kendo sticks, we had trash cans, we had chairs, and everything that you could imagine in a street fight. We had it. and they were everywhere. They were all over the announce table, and um uh Rowan got sidelined very quickly out the gate. They kind of like took him out and covered him in debris. Like they
Mm.
covered him with steps and tables and chairs and just covered him up. So he was out down for most of the match. And so it left Loomis and um the other Gacy. They were out trying to keep order in the match and doing everything. And it was a lot of back and forth. We saw good stuff from American Made. You know, we had a ankle lock into a oh, we saw a Kurt Angle slam into the ankle lock. We had all of that. We had Nikki breaking up the ankle lock off of so Joe Gacy wouldn't tap out. We had some really sick moves, flips off tables and leg drops from um, from Dexter Loomis, and him and Gacy are really working really well together. So I could see them going for a tag team run in the future. It would be interesting to see their chemistry working off each other. It was just really good. And then we didn't see Uncle Howdy did not move from that spot in that chair for the entire match up until the very last minute. And it was like all of a sudden he just came into the ring and put on his sister Abigail, and it was a 1, 2, 3, and the Wyatt Six wins this match. It was a really good match. I kind of enjoy watching it. We saw some really interesting stuff between the two groups. I do hope this is the end of this rivalry. Honestly, I think we should have both factions move on to other things. I want the Wyatt Six to seem more intimidating, like the Wyatt Six should be. And I don't know, but I think
I
this
don't know
was a
what the
fun
Wyatt Six
run.
do. Like, who are they going
I,
to feud with?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, what? Like, what's? It's. This is where it's like it's a great concept, but what's the story?
Right.
Like, all
Right.
right, I get why they're doing it, but like, like I need them to like terrorize, and I
That's what I
guess
wanted.
they're not doing it.
I thought they were going to come in just terrorizing anybody and everybody, like not stick to one group, just whoever's out there at the time we feel like coming out and terrorizing, you go get it. Like how Bronson Reed is doing, like how he's just jumping on random people and just doing it. And I'm like, okay, period. But then we get a Finn Balor promo, which I felt was getting us back to the old Finn that we all know and love. This was one of Finn's better promos I've seen in a long time, which I'm very happy about because I miss this Finn. I miss this Finn. I miss the Finn who was the main character and not the sidekick, as he put it. He told Damian Priest, "You made me into a sidekick, and I'm not a sidekick. I'm friend Balor. I was the first Universal Champion. I'm not a sidekick." And I was like, "Period, Finn." But of course, he still relies back heavily on the numbers game, and he called Damian out. Damian comes out and was like, "Look, we gonna talk about it, but when it's over, I'm kicking your ass. That's
Right.
it." And so Ben was like, "That's not how this works because apparently you forgot the Judgment Day playbook." And Damon's like, "I wrote that playbook." And then of course Judgment Day comes out and Damien and Finn agree to a match at Bad Blood, which is yeah, they go have a
No,
match.
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good match. I also like that it is. I really like what Ben had to say with like, you made me a sidekick and I am not a
Hmm.
sidekick. So I really hope that we get a strong showing from Finn Balor out of this.
Absolutely. I think it's time we get back to the old fan that we all fell in love with when he, first got here. And but of course the numbers game happened. Rhea comes down, she slips down to the ring, but of course the numbers get hurt too, and they were beating up on Damian Priest and on Rhea Ripley. And Damian went and covered Rhea with his body so she couldn't take any more of those blows that Leah was hitting with the crutches, which I thought was a sweet moment.
That was a
But then they
good.
pulled. It was a good moment. It was like, yeah, that solidifies their thing, their duo, which I loved. And so, but then they pulled them off, and they still hitting it. And then, of course, um, Jay Uso comes out with the chair, but I knew he wasn't gonna get involved because everybody was saying yeet early. I'm like, he can't really get involved since he has his own match later on that night for the Intercontinental Championship, that thing. And so he comes out though with the chair. Judgment Day scatters, and he, checks on Rhea. It was a nice moment, but it was cute. But I am excited about Damien and Finn having this match to do. And then we did go into a women's tag team championship match between Bianca and Jade against the Unholy Union. And I was not. I knew the outcome of this match was going to happen because if we think about history, Unholy Union has never pinned Bianca and Jade. They've
Interesting.
never pinned them. They've never pinned them. When they won it, they pinned somebody in the triple threat match. They pinned the other team. Never pinned them. But when Jade and Bianca took it off of them, the first time, they pinned them. So it I kind of knew what was going to happen, but it was a decent match. This match, I don't know. It was okay. I think um Jade is still feeling herself and still coming, feeling how she acclimating to WWE and in her in-ring experience because Bianca took the brunt of this match and then Jade came in and finished it and squashed it and won the match. But it was a good match. I thought it was gonna be some interference because I was like, oh, okay, so are we going to lose this? Or are they going to get disqualified because damage control is going to come out and, break this up? Or no, but it was a clean match. Clean pin, clean match. Nobody interfered. And yeah, it just solidified what I thought about. Not that Unholy Union is a bad team. I think they're a great team. I just think they're not really a huge
They're,
um
they're not like over.
right. They're
Right?
just not.
And it's a struggle with the women's division. We're not doing enough to get more women attention and a reason for being and a reason for fighting.
Right. And so then we go into the segment where because they were doing this thing where Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett would do more crowd interaction on the mic.
Oh,
I don't, and so it was interesting to see that. And so then they went into the segment where Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett were in the ring, and they brought out Bret Hart because, of course, you're in Calgary, you're in Hart Nation, so you bring out Bret Hart, and he comes out, and they made the announcement that Survivor Series is going to be in Vancouver this year, and so yay for that, and the hit. Brett spoke on the importance of champions and world championships, and then that's when Gunther comes out.
because there's nobody that respects the title more than Bret Hart.
Absolutely, because
Come on.
he
Well, I would have done the job to pretty much almost anybody except for Shawn Michaels in my hometown. I mean, it could have been, I would have dropped the belt to Taker. That would have been great. I would have done that, and I would have lost to Shawn Michaels the next night on Raw, or maybe forfeited it to him. But, I would have had a great match with Bill Goldberg if he didn't, kick me in the face.
oh man, it's
I cannot. You know what? Bret Hart was an extremely phenomenal wrestler.
mm-hmm.
I cannot stand Bret Hart post wrestling career.
He's in, he's a character that just makes me just shake my head like, okay, bro. All right, bro.
Wrestler. No.
He has a lot to say. But then Gunther comes out and he's speaking about Goldberg being his favorite wrestlers over Bret Hart, and Gunther's trolling, which found funny. I found it to be hilarious. I was like, not Gunther trolling this man, but okay. But then Sami Zayn comes out because, of course, why not? More Canadians in the ring, and Sami comes out and he's like, "How dare you? How dare you talk to this man like this? He is the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be." Da, 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 da. And his number 13 hockey jersey for a great player who played in that stadium, and he passed away recently. And so they're all like, everybody's, like, how dare you? How dare you? And so Sammy again was like, why don't you fight me? And Gunther says no. He was like, no. And they were so, of course, Brett was like, oh, it's because you're scared. You're a coward. You don't want to fight him because you're a coward. And Gunther's like, yeah, whatever. Um, he said he's not going to uh, fight this man again. He's just not going to do it. And then a brawl breaks out. And yeah, he beat up on Gunther because Gunther, it was all right. It was Bret Hart, Everybody who in Calgary, they love to see it. It was a great segment though. It was a perfectly fine segment. Perfectly. I
Like Bret Hart being the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be isn't even a true statement. Like he wasn't. Like what the actual?
It's so crazy because a lot of people were like praising this segment, like it was so great and it was so good. I personally was not that impressed. That's me, my opinion only. A lot of people would give it like, "Oh, that was a great promo," and da da da. I was like, "Can we move on?"
Right.
Like, I don't feel like Bret Hart is entertaining anymore. Like, and now he's just a whiner baby.
He is a
I'm
whiner
sorry.
baby.
I'm sorry, yo.
Is.
He's a whiner baby, and I'm like, I'm kind of over it. We do get why this match, Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio. I don't know why we keep having these matches. I think we need to move on from the LWO with the Judgment Day. Let Dominic fight other people. Like,
Yes.
let us move. But Dominic ends up winning because, of course, Liv interferes. We move because boo, boo, boo. It was just boo. I'm sorry.
Right.
I was not entertained with that. We did have Pure Fusion Collective come out with Lyra to fight Lyra Valkyria and Zelina Vega, but we needed one more person. And Sonya Deville was like, "Who you got? We don't care who you bring out. We're gonna beat them too." Da da da. And we're not scared of anybody. And who do they bring out? Natalia.
Ooh.
I'm
Speaking of
like,
Canada.
because
Or
we're in Canada.
we're in Canada. No, I love Natty. Natty and I
I
love.
like Natty, but come on, Natty. Natty. Natty's the big surprise. Nat, Nat,
It's just a
sure.
Hart family reunion.
And we had that backstage segment where they did that. It was great. And they win the match. They beat Pure Fusion Collection. I don't think the match was that interesting. It wasn't much that happened. It was a fine match. Um, but whatever. We did have a segment in the back where Brett and Natalia met, and he was like, "It's all about Natty now. It's Natty's moment, not Brett's moment."
Mm-hmm.
Woo, great. See, Drew McIntyre's back out there. He's here because he has some things to say. Cut a good promo. He was upset at CM Punk, of course, and he's like letting CM Punk know he is not done with him. But then he shifted his anger. off of CM Punk for a moment and was mad with Wade Barrett. And he was like, I want you to stay out my business. You get back in my face and get in my business, it's going to be a problem for you. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
Right.
But he's mad at him. And so Wade was like, oh, you mad at me? Okay then. So he takes off his head. He like, I'm the only one you got. I'm the only one talking to you. I'm the only one who is trying to be a friend. And before they can get into it, Adam Pierce comes out and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You mad at everybody. You ain't got no friend. Now you turn on the one person who had your back. Calm down, Drew. Relax. But what we do know, and what I've heard, well, he said, I talked to CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
And he's no longer through with you. So he wants another match with you. And so Drew was like, I don't believe you. But if I did believe you, what we talking about? And he was like, and he wants this match at Bad Blood, and it's going to be hell in the cell. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so shocked that we are going to have a Hell in the Cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I can't believe it. Who saw this coming?
He
We didn't
said,
announce we didn't announce this 3 weeks ago when we didn't say after Basher Berlin that they probably were going to have a Hell in the Cell match at Bad Blood. Who said that?
we did.
Oh, we did say that.
It's very exciting, though. I'm very, very excited. We
I
love a
am.
good blood feud inside of a Hell in a Cell. I don't like Hell in a Cell just as like oh, it's October, so we have to have a Hell in a Cell. No, we have a reason. These two
Yes.
hate each other.
Yes.
Similar to Cody and Seth last year, 2 years ago,
Yes.
which we haven't had a Hell in a Cell since.
I
Oh,
kind of love that. I This was actually my favorite promo of the night because I was like, yes, this was what I wanted. I wanted you to come out, be Drew, be
yep.
weird, be mad. And then we got the results that we knew was going to happen. And I'm very excited. I am excited about a Hell in a Cell match that actually has real
Right.
it has a good story behind it, and it makes sense to have this match as Hell in a Cell. I was feared. I loved it. Loved it. Um, Rey Mysterio, Finn Balor. I'm just gonna say blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Finn wins.
By Raw only needs to be 2 hours.
Absolutely.
It's running long.
It's really. And then the main event of the night, of course, is our Fatal 4-Way match for the number one contendership for the IC champion. Braun Breaker was making his rounds all night, all freaking night. He went to every single person involved in this match and tried to get in their head. You're gonna lose, da 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 da. And I was just like, please, could you just? But that's me again. My personal opinion. Not a fan of Braun Breaker. If you love him, I love it for you. I don't. But this match was actually really good. Braun Strowman hurt after being crushed on a car 2 weeks ago by Bronson Reed. Ribs all busted up, but he is still cleared. Um, Pete Dunne almost got his head knocked off right before the match by Sheamus with the shillelagh because he was from what happened last week. And so Pete Dunne is now the most hardest working man in WWE. This man has gone from NXT to Raw to dark matches to back to NXT, back to Raw this entire weekend. He just been fighting everywhere. So Pete Dunne, hats off to you. Ilio and Jay, they all look good in this match. Everybody looked good in this match. This was a match I was like, okay, all right. It was good. It was a good match. I enjoyed it, but at the end of the day, Jay Uso came out of this match victorious. He will fight Braun Breaker at Bad Blood for the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm very much looking forward to it. And all of these people are in my ear. My family, my nephews are in my ear. Other people I've seen online are in my ear talking about Jay has no chance. He's not winning this IC title against Braun Breaker. And you know what? I am going to live in the land of delusion, and I am going to say Jay Uso is going to beat Braun Breaker. That is an
He
early
needs the
prediction.
Braun Breaker, but I think he's gonna get yeeted.
I don't think so. I'm living in my land of delusion, and I think Jay Uso is going to finally get the singles championship that he deserves, and I can't wait to see it. We did have a return. Did we? I don't know. I might have missed it. But overall, I thought the show was good. We had a few dud matches that I'm like not interested in, but we had a few good matches that I thought was great. So I'm excited about it.
And now Raw's only going to be 2 hours,
It's gonna
so
be two
it's going to be
hours.
concise. It's going to be good. It's going to be effortless. It's not going to feel like a chore to watch. So
Right.
good for WWE for pulling that decision. Um,
Absolutely. We have one last story before we get out of here because we do want to get out of here so we can go watch the debate. Um, Cody Rhodes is now number one on the PWI 500.
is the wrestler of the year. Position once held. It's a great honor to be the PWI 100. I think that it's not often, it's really the wrestler's wrestler that
Mhm.
usually gets put at number one. I mean, it's been won in the past by AJ Styles, John Moxley, Seth Rollins a couple of times, CM Punk. It's the person who is the most influence over the wrestling world at the time. So kudos to Cody Rhodes.
And I mean, it makes sense. He has done so much in wrestling as a whole, and to see him go through everything he's gone through and get back to WWE and be at the top of the mountain, he did what needed to be done for him, and I'm like, it's deserved. It's deserved. But
This is his first time
good.
being PWI Wrestler of the Year. So
Love
that's it.
that for you, Cody. Shout out to Cody Rose. We salute you here at the Cup Ringside. But that's gonna do it for us. We're gonna get out of here because, like I said, we're trying to watch the debates tonight, and we want to see another SmackDown in the political ring.
If you are
So
American, vote. Your vote is important.
very much so. Please do that. Go register if you haven't, and if you don't know where you go, vote. Vote.org will tell you everything you need to know about how and where you should vote. Um, Yeah, and that's it for us. We're gonna get out of here. We appreciate you all watching. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on your way out the door. We appreciate you. Follow us on all of our channels here and all of our channels in part of the network, as well as our audio podcast link. Those will all be in the description below, as well as our Patreon link. And you can follow us on our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow Topher and myself if you want to. Sure, go ahead. And you can also keep going a little bit to get your cup merch, as I'm using it as the cup holder right now. But get your cup merch as well. We appreciate you so much, and we're gonna get out of here. So, cheers, y'all.
Have a good
Cheers. Have a good
night.
one. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.